What kind of influence do you think Steve Witkoff's foray into the Gulf states has had on U.S. policy vis-a-vis Hamas and Iran?
I don't know Steve Witkoff personally. I've never interacted with him. My assessment of what he has done is, without exception, disastrous. I think this has been a very unfortunate sort of designation as the American representative in, as best I can tell, 3 different full-time jobs. Negotiating a deal with Ukraine and Russia, negotiating a deal with Israel and Gaza, negotiating a deal with the United States and Iran. Nobody could do that, all 3, competently. And I don't think that he knows enough about any of them to have done even one competently. And I think the message that I get is he's just doing what the president wants. But you need, I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to think not, because I would very much like to think that these policies are not actually what Donald Trump would do left to his own devices, and that he's hearing from Steve Witkoff, who I think is under the influence of the Qataris and the Biden team and, Hamas and others, and I guess Iran as well. All of which is to say, I think that to the extent that he is an influential advisor to the president as well as his representative, the role he's playing is, I think, an unmitigated disaster, personally.
How about the Pentagon? What kind of influence does Doha, do you feel, Qatar have in the Pentagon?
The Qataris are clearly able to exploit the fact that they have a major U.S. base in the Middle East that is Qatar, supported and sponsored and located. Mm-hmm. And I think that does give rise to influence on the U.S. military, certainly to CENTCOM, both in terms of what it can do with that base and the vulnerabilities of its personnel, on it. Notably when the Iranians were threatening to have some sort of counterattack. But my sense of it is that it's influential in a very negative way for American interests, and I personally would move that base in a heartbeat if we could.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.